Hey there everyone, it's Nicole here today for Simon Says Stamp with some stamped floral backgrounds that while I was creating one, I went ahead and created two, and you could do this for as many cards as you want to create. These are really simple but pack a huge punch because the Everything Together clear stamp set that is available for individual purchase or comes in the May 2018 Simon Says Stamp card kit Kind Heart. The greetings from this really pack a huge punch. They're really bold, really beautiful, and then the flowers are also from this stamp set, and I think they just really make a huge statement. I am going to start by stamping my backgrounds, and what I'm doing is simply inking up these floral and leaf images from the Everything Together clear stamp set. I'm using my MISTI so that I can stamp the images more than once if I need to. If the first impression isn't very dark, then I can very easily stamp it again since I have it in my MISTI, and I can very easily create multiples. So while I'm creating one, I'm creating two. The Spring Rain and Melon mini hybrid ink cubes from Simon Says Stamp come in the kit. That's the orange and kind of the teal greenish color that you see there. I decided to pull in just a couple more colors from my Simon Says Stamp ink collection that I have here at home. And I'm using Watermelon, which is the pinky red, and Duckling, which is the yellow. And that rounds out my color palette, very springy, really, really pretty. And I love that Simon is including some inks in you guys' card kits because I think this is just really fun. And this kit is amazing. This is just a piece, a tiny piece of what you get in the kit. There is this big 6x8 stamp set, which I'm using here for my card. Then there's a little mini stamp set. There are some epoxy stickers, puffy stickers, 6x6 pattern papers, the word heart die. It's a thin wafer die exclusive to Simon Says Stamp. It's the outline and the word. There are two mini ink cubes, an envelope, masking paper if you wanted to maybe do some sort of a masking type of technique, which it's my favorite masking paper of all time. So I love that Simon is including that in the kit. Then some smoke orange peel, Audrey blue, and ivory cardstock rounds it all out. That's a ton. You get a lot. You can make so many cards. I have to this point only made 4, which I think is incredible for a card kit. And I have tons of product left. So you really can get a lot for your money. The kits retail for $34.99 plus shipping and handling. Or you can subscribe to Simon Says Stamp monthly card kit and get it for $29.99 plus shipping and handling each month. So a really great deal. If you, excuse me, add this all up, it's substantially more than the price that you're paying for the whole kit. Excuse me again, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to finish stamping these backgrounds. You can see they're pretty much full. What is awesome is there's some little circles that you can use to customize the centers of some of the flowers if you want to. Plus, I think they're going to fill in some of the white space really nicely. Again, I'm just using those same 4 colors of ink: Watermelon, Melon, Duckling, and Spring Rain. And we're going to add different size little circles all over the background. I also used the heart shape. I think that could also be leaves if you wanted to. I believe there are 3 different sizes of these hearts. So you could use it as a standard kind of whimsical type of heart, or you can use it for leaves, whatever you want to do. And you could also use whatever color palette kind of floats your boat. So whatever you're drawn to. I am definitely in the mood for spring. Winter has held on for a long time here, and it's just really never warmed up and stayed warm. So this is my please spring, come on, I'm ready kind of project, I guess. Once I have the backgrounds all stamped, we're going to go ahead and stamp those big greetings right in the middle. And I decided I didn't want to do them both the same. I wanted to do them different. The first one I'm stamping "You Are Simply the Best Ever" with black VersaFine ink right there in the center. And then the second one is going to have the even bigger greeting that says, "I wish we lived closer. Pretty sure we would do everything together." Both of these, awesome. I love these sentiments. There's other sentiments included as well. These are not the only two. So maybe you go ahead and make a whole bunch and use all of them. Really, really fun. So let's get that second one stamped. And the black really is bold over that floral background. I think it looks really cool. And this keeps it almost a single layer card. I did forget to mention that I trimmed my backgrounds before I started stamping them to 4 by 5 1/4 inches so that they have a thin white border all the way around when I mat them on a white top fold card base. Go ahead and stamp this one more time. There were a couple little areas that were really, really light that I felt like needed a little bit more stamping. Now, once this is stamped, I wanted to add just a little something else. So I'm taking another new stamp set from Simon Sasy Stamp. This is an exclusive from the Fluttering by Release. And I'm going to stamp some additional little sentiment phrases on black cardstock using Versamark ink and heat emboss with white embossing powder. And then we'll trim these into thin little strips. This is something I do a lot, but I think it just really adds to the overall feel of the card. I think it just ties in nicely. Plus, we're going to pop them up with a little foam adhesive, which adds a bit of dimension because, as I mentioned a second ago, this is almost a one-layer card. This is almost entirely flat. In fact, if I'd stamped all of this right on the card base itself or just on a single layer, it really would be. But by trimming the background a little bit smaller, it instantly adds that matte to it. And then we're going to pop up this little sentiment phrase. You could use like Nouveau crystal drops, sequins, other types of enamel dots or jewels in the center of the flowers or around the background if you wanted to add some more embellishment. I really went for keeping this very, very clean and simple and didn't add any additional embellishment. Now, something I like to do, especially if I'm using a black cardstock and I'm popping it up, is use the Scrapbook Adhesives black foam adhesive squares. And these were obviously a little too big for these strips, so I like to trim them into thirds. It really makes your foam adhesive squares go further. But the black, because they're black foam adhesive, when you turn your card to the side, you're not seeing a pop of white underneath that black cardstock. You're going to see black foam adhesive, which I really like. I think that kind of just gives it a really clean, nice look. I'm a huge fan of these Scrapbook Adhesives foam adhesive squares, and I have tons of them in both the black and the white because I use them all the time. We're going to adhere our card backgrounds here to our card bases. I'm using the Simon Sasy Stamp top fold card bases, using a Teflon bone folder to make sure these are scored, and that is going to finish up my cards. Now, as I was finished, I decided I needed a little pink dot, that little watermelon dot in the center of the orange flowers, so I just grabbed that really quick and went in and added that. Thanks for joining me today for this set of 2 cards featuring the Simon Sasy Stamp May 2018 card kit Kind Heart. The supplies I used to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Simon Sasy stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Thanks for joining me today. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel for weekly card making and stamping videos. We'll catch you next time.